Good morning. I am here on December 23rd, right before Christmas, at Squak Mountain State Park. And today I have a fun adventure planned. Squak Mountain is one of the smaller Issaquah alps, and today I am going to be doing a custom loop I created to do all three summits here on Squak Mountain. I have with me today Buffy in her little coat and Angel, and we are going to be doing a 7.5 mile loop with about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. There's a little bit of rain in the forecast for today, but it shouldn't be all rain, so we're gonna get started on this loop. Should be fun. I want to share a little bit more about why I specifically chose this mountain and to do all the summits. The reason is because I started my goal to climb all of the Tiger Mountain peaks over the winter. And so to do that, I ended up joining Peakery, which is a website that had info on some of the routes that I was thinking about, because funnily enough, there's not a lot of info on some of those things. And as I was logging climbs, I became aware of something called the Issaquah Alps Challenge, which is a challenge they have on there for 24 peaks in the Issaquah Alps. And for those who don't know, the Issaquah Alps are basically foothills to the Cascade Mountains on I-90. So, you know, these are like the hills to the 4,000, 5,000 foot peaks that you get further down the highway. And so I was like, well, I've already started doing Tiger Mountain. I might as well expand my challenge to doing all of the Issaquah Alps they have listed there. So today we're knocking out 3 of those. Wow, look at that. That little cedar sapling is almost being completely eaten by moss. Winter hiking in Washington is definitely the best time to come and appreciate the moss on our trails. And of course, all the good moss is in the lowlands, so it kind of works out perfectly. And they're also great hikes for rainy season. And tip for hiking in Washington when there's only rain in the forecast is just find which day has the least rain and go on that one. It may not be lofty mountain views, but this is kind of an awesome 360. Yeah, so we just came off the little tiny spur that took us to look at that beautiful creek canyon. And this forest is beautiful. So many mossy trees, and I think it's only gonna get cooler from here, but so far, gorgeous trail. I'm really enjoying it, and super easy too. Haven't even felt the elevation gain, even though we've been climbing. Also, we are in the cloud, so if it looks a little fuzzy, that's why. This is probably the coolest part of the trail so far. This creek has eaten well down into that, making a tiny canyon. Keeps going down that way for the creek that we saw earlier. So this here is what we here in Washington call a moss monster, because moss takes over everything in this state, and eventually the trees and the moss take on a life of their own. These look really creepy in the mist, and yeah, you definitely don't want to come upon one at night. Yeah, it's not Bigfoot that'll get you, it's the moss monsters. Well, there it is. This is the west peak of Squak Mountain. One peak down. Woohoo! It's obviously not very assuming. Weirdly enough, one of the windier summits we've had all year, but that's one summit down and 2 more to go. This is, I think, the least exciting of the summits. There's going to be a lot of interesting stuff along the ridge, because now we've gained most of the elevation, so now we just kind of have to follow a trail that goes along the ridge, and we'll get to see some more cool features on Squak Mountain. But yeah, 1 summit down, 2 more to go. So that back there that I showed you was the Bullet Fireplace, which is one of the features on Squak Mountain, and it's the only remains of the Bullet family summer home. And the Bullet family are the ones who actually donated a bulk of the land for Squak Mountain State Park to the state, and they wanted the land to be kept in its natural state for the preservation of the nature around here instead of developing it. So that's really a great thing. I'm glad they did that. the central peak. Behind me is the summit where there is a power station that you definitely don't want to trespass there. But this is the central peak, so we have one more peak and then we will have had all 3 Squak Mountain summits. As you can see, it is getting pretty stormy. We have a winter storm coming through. It's gonna start snowing within the next few days. We're probably gonna have snow for Christmas, which is exciting. Not a terribly scenic summit, but it is a summit nonetheless. Here is the summit marker for the East Peak. That's it. This is the 3rd summit of all the Squak Mountain summits. It was a bit of a push to get here, and we have 3 miles to go to the car. The puppies have turned into little mud monsters, but we did it. 3 summits. So we are gonna take a few pictures and then get on off this mountain. So we are in the last half mile of our descent from the southwest peak and wrapping up this 3 summit day here at Squak Mountain State Park. This is my first time I've been to Squak Mountain State Park, and I must say it is quite lovely. The trails are beautiful, really well maintained, and I really like this forest and the mossy trees and everything. Really great day to come when, you know, when it's a little rainy, a little cloudy and stormy. Kind of really feels like the Pacific Northwest. And I would say though that none of the summits I think were terribly spectacular. It was more for the peak bagging. And I would recommend that if you come here, what I would do is actually go see the Bullet Fireplace. I think that's the most interesting thing to come see here at Squak Mountain on the trails. And the trails themselves, I think those were probably my favorite parts. If you had to ask me which summit was my favorite, I would definitely say the 3rd one, the Southwest Summit. That one, I think, I don't know, I just liked it best. It was the nicest. And all the trails are really easy, although I will say the first summit, the 1st and 3rd summit, those ones are where the trail got a little bit more difficult. There were definitely some pretty steep sections. If you just do the Central Summit and Fireplace, you're fine, but you do have to go down into like little dips that gets pretty steep and then climb back up steep to actually get to the summit. So I wouldn't recommend doing either of those unless you're really motivated to do so. But overall, great day here at Squak Mountain. Come check out the trails. There are so many, and this is a beautiful, beautiful forest. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, you can subscribe to the channel to follow our adventures on trail here in Washington. And here are my favorite pictures from the trail. Enjoy.